To this story now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has been engaging with Labour, civil society and business at the City Council in Braamnfontein. This is the live conversation. SABC News reporter Nosipho Radebe joins me now, and she is joined by Joburg Mayor Dada Morero just to speak a bit more about the engagement between himself and the President in that two-day oversight meeting. Good afternoon, Nosipho, it's over to you.
Afternoon, of course, Mfundo, and thank you so much for crossing to us now. Well, of course, we are coming to you live now from the Joburg chamber, the council chambers, following that meeting, as you mentioned, between the President, Labour, business and civil society and academia, all here just to sort of air their views around the service delivery challenges plaguing the city of Johannesburg. The President outlining towards the end of his speech there that this working group, the Presidential Johannesburg Working Group that will be established, that will be sort of working on the challenges that have been outlined today by the various stakeholders who spoke here today. But he did put a sort of time limit on that, saying that he didn't want it to go on for too long, that working group, and they wanted to see sort of those reforms done quite soon as well, but also just outlining his concerns to one of the issues raised there by the stakeholders today, that issue that indigent households were not receiving the money that is allocated to them by the National Treasury, and wanting to sort of see that happen now, the President's saying. But of course, as I mentioned, or as you mentioned there, Mfundo, we are joined now by the Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero, just for his sort of response then following today's engagements. And of course, thank you so much, Mayor, for joining us today on the show. Mayor, civil society, Labour, as well as business, airing their views today. Give us your initial responses.
Well, today it was from yesterday, in fact, these 2 days was the district development model at play. You'd know that a month ago I'd written to the President to say we'd want to bring the district development model in Johannesburg as part of an intervention to try and deal with the challenges that Johannesburg is faced with. So we're able to pool resources of the three spheres of government, including the private sector that was also part of the engagements today, pledging their support and their willingness to get Johannesburg to work. So we are in the DDM model and we are ready to work. There are work streams that we'll have to define in the next few days so that we can start putting all the teams in their work streams and we start working.
And the President also mentioning, that we need to, there's some sort of streams that need to be sort of accelerated over the others, mentioning water infrastructure as one of them, also electricity. Talk to us about your response there.
Well, the main thing that the President emphasized as he left the meeting today was in relation to the indigent register, which in essence our indigent register has been very low, and this is as a result of the system or the software which requires us to correct it immediately, because it has been excluding quite a lot of people who are supposed to be on an indigent register and get the necessary rebates that they should be getting on water, electricity and on all other services. So we are going to immediately focus on that. The major problem in Johannesburg still remains water infrastructure and electricity infrastructure. Now all of us, the three spheres of government, will now be focusing on it to find innovative solutions towards addressing the water challenges and electricity infrastructure. So that's what we're going to be doing moving forward.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor. We're going to leave it there. Of course, that was Johannesburg Mayor there, Dada Morero, just outlining there, of course, reminding us what the President had sort of mentioned towards the end of his speech, that, as I mentioned, that indigent households not receiving the funds that they should be. The Mayor outlining, of course, that they will be ensuring that will be happening also around the issues around water infrastructure, a major challenge in the city across many of the regions here. But the work then of the presidential Johannesburg working group that is set to get underway soon, and the president also announcing that he will be appointing members of the private sector as well as members of government to ensure that all members or all the members who sort of partake today are all represented in ensuring that the service delivery challenges raised by residents, raised by civil society and all the other stakeholders, that they are indeed addressed. But of course, Mfundo, it's over to you in studio.
All right, thank you very much, Nosipho, for that reportage. That's SABC News reporter Nosipho Radebe there in conversation with Joburg Mayor Dada Morero.